Hello everyone, very good morning and very warm welcome to StudyIQ IS English channel. I am your educator Praveen Mishra, and let's start the session for the day, that is the Hindu analysis for the date 29th of March 2025. Okay, so simply we call it as the current affairs show as well, right? So with regard to the first topic for the day, or the first headline for the day that we need to discuss, it's here. India's coastal crisis. See, there are n number of crises, not just in India but globally. Each and every individual country faces n number of crises, and the crisis is not something new to the civilized society or to the existence of the civilization. But there are some features that are very much kept in attention or focus by our beloved UPSC. And one of those crises are the crisis related to the aquatic or the marine ecosystem specifically, right? So when we simply talk about the aquatic or marine ecosystem, okay, there is a present day crisis that we are going to discuss is about the excess fishing. There is a very wonderful statement here that the nature is the biggest balancer. The actual thing, the actual principle of balancing a thing, we can learn it from nature. From gravity to rains to desert to snow, as well as the food web. Call it the food cycle, oxygen cycle, nitrogen cycle, whatsoever. Nature has performed its task exceptionally well when it comes to the balancing of the facts. But the problem is when we as an individual humans, when we try to disbalance the balance created by nature, then it is catastrophic in nature. Then that's the point. So as what we can see here, using high powered lights to catch fish is banned in the country's exclusive economic zone, but enforcement remains very, very weak. See, the concern is not with regard to just a minute, please. Okay, here we go. See, the concern is not with regard to what the thing is that we need a statute or we need a law to protect our oceans and seas. We do have it. Like we have got the coastal regulation zones, we have got the exclusive economic zones regulations. But the problem is not the statute, not the law, but its execution or implementation. And as what we can see here, India's 7,500 kilometer coastline, which is quite rich in biodiversity and home to millions of fishes, is under absolute threat from an outlawed fishing practice that continues with impunity. What is this word impunity means? That is providing no pain or no kind of punishment for any act. That is what in simple terms impunity means. That is what light fishing. What is this light fishing? Guys, be very specific when you are making your notes, okay? Light fishing, basically, this method which uses high-powered artificial lights like sun rays to lure fish and squid to the surface, which has been banned in India's exclusive economic zone since 2017. Yet, till date, enforcement remains inconsistent. So, like just for an example, you might have seen the halogen lights in your house or maybe nearby areas, and actually in functions we do use them, right? So they are very powerful lights, right? The beam is very high, okay, the intensity of the radiation is also very high, no doubt in that. And this is how the boats or the fishermen, they do carry with themselves when they are going for the fishing, okay? And with regard to that high powered lights, the fishes, they do get lured. In order to get some sunlight, they do come to the surface, okay, and they are then trapped and taken away. See, I'm not saying that fishing is wrong, okay, it's nothing wrong in that until and unless it is disbalancing the nature. right? And this light fishing is what? It is disturbing the marine food web, that is simply disturbing the balance of nature. Okay, so there are two words that you have just had, that is fish and squid. So yes, we are not dealing with that very famous movie or series, whatever it is, that is the Squid Game. But here the word squid is common. What it is a key species in the marine food web, okay, and are particularly under the IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature, vulnerable. Okay, so squid are slow moving and get caught easily. So guys, please make it very clear, okay, the features of squid. They are slow moving and hence they can be caught very easily. The next thing, when lights are used, okay, that is how the things have been working. So this have a cascading effect on the food chain, starving the larger predator. Okay, so simply speaking, the light fishing, which is catching not only just the fishes but other marine species as well, including the squid. Squid, that is a type of a fish, actually not even a fish but a type of a fish, okay, which is slow moving, and obviously because of its slow moving feature, it's easily catchable. The coastal areas, and specifically the areas which are having islands within themselves, okay, their economy is heavily relied on two segments. One is obviously the tourism, and this tourism just provides the offshoot to the second segment, that is blue economy. And what is this blue economy actually? An economy that is running not because of industries, not because of agriculture, but because of the water bodies, may it be the oceans or seas or whatsoever. Okay, so blue economy basically, it refers to the sustainable use of marine resources for exploration, economic growth, improved livelihoods and transport, while preserving the health of marine and coastal ecosystems. So what is blue economy? Blue economy basically, it refers to an economy which is running with the help of marine or aquatic resources. That's it. But yes, we have to keep something in mind, that is, we do not have to tamper the aquatic ecosystem. That is, we should be going ahead with sustainable usage only and not the over exploitation. And making no mistake here that the light fishing is what? Not coming under the sustainable exploitation or the sustainable exploration. Banned in India into the exclusive economic zone since 2017, but even 8 years later, its implication, its applications are inconsistent. Okay. So the next thing, in India, the blue economy encompasses a wide range of sectors, including shipping, tourism, fisheries, and offshore oil and gas explorations. This is reflected in the SDGs, that is the Sustainable Development Goal 14, which calls to conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. So guys, the fact that you need to mark out here, SDG 14. What are SDG 14 related to? So SDG 14 is basically related to the protection of aquatic ecosystem. Yes, go ahead with the exploration or the exploitation of the mineral resources, but keep this thing in mind that you need to preserve them and do not over exploit them. So this is what we are caring for, that is the SDG 14. So blue economy, first of all, is inclusive and improves the lives of all. It harnesses the renewable energy, protects coastal communities from the impacts of climate change, creates jobs, reduces poverty and ends hunger, conserves marine life and oceans, and uses smart shipping to lessen the impacts on the environment. So this is what the SDG 14 goals they are. This is how the blue economy is represented. Okay guys, so moving on to the next big thing here. What is blue economy 2.0? Yes, we have got blue economy, but we have got the upgraded version of the blue economy as well, that is known as blue economy 2.0. With what are the features, where it is aiming at basically? So this is aimed at promoting climate resilient activities and sustainable development in coastal areas. Okay, climate resilient. So blue economy is basically focusing towards all of the features of the marine or aquatic ecosystem, whereas blue economy 2.0 is focusing specifically where? That is promoting climate resilient activities. To enhance this statement, we can just read it this. With marine ecosystems facing unprecedented threats from climate change, pollution, and overexploitation, there is an urgent need for the coordinated action to safeguard the health and resilience of ocean resources. So, basically speaking, obviously, we do have to care about the health of the oceans, but we do have to take care of the climate factor as well, because it will be also disturbing the health, the functioning, the natural functioning of the oceans. So here we go, Blue Economy 2.0, focusing on the climatic factors. Apart from that, taking care the health of the oceans or the marine ecosystem basically, right? So this was the first headline, the first news for the day, and here we have got the next one, the next news here into the list. That is, India strengthens global position in textile or the technical textiles with strategic initiatives. Okay, textiles, fine. We are wearing a textile. You are wearing a textile. We all do wear for sure. But what is this technical textile all about? How do I define this word, technical textile? So in layman's term, what we can simply state, technical textile is a textile that we use not for, the fashion purpose or the general purpose, but for a special purpose. Call it a textile specifically made for the doctors, okay, or for scientists, or a textile that is made specifically for engineers, or the ones those who are going in the deep sea exploration, or the ones those who are involved in agricultural activities. Okay, so such special type of suits, such special types of garments or attires, that is what is known as technical textiles, and it is boosting it at an immense pace or speed, what we can say, right? So what we have got, the technical textile. So India's technical textile industry continues to be a key pillar of the national economy and contributing nearly 2% for the country's GDP. So you can see it's a good amount of contribution. So GDP as 2% of the contribution. It's a big, big figure. So as the 6th largest textile exporter, we Indians, okay, we are what? The 6th largest textile exporters globally. 3.9% share in the world textile exports. The sector is poised for significant growth, projected to reach nearly 350 billion US dollars by 2030, and it could expand and create a job that is something nearly to 3.5 crores. Okay, so the textile market in India, that is expected, the projected growth is 350 billion US dollars. By which year? By the year 2030, that is in just next 5 years. Okay, and this textile industry will provide us with 3.5 crores of the jobs, and we know it very well. The biggest headache right now our nation is facing, there are multiple headaches, as I stated in the beginning of the session. There are multiple crises that a nation faces. But the first thing here, that is the unemployed youth. And what is the concept here? 3.5 crore jobs are to be witnessed by us in next 5 years in the textile industry, in the technical textile industries. Okay, so when we talk about technical textiles, okay, what are they? While traditional textiles remains vital, the emergence of technical textile is transforming the industry. And these specialized fabrics prioritize function over aesthetics. That is, they are not for the show off or for the fashion, but they are for some certain functions. And to cater wide range of industries, including automobile, construction, agriculture, health, and safety. So technical textile enhance durability, safety, and efficiency in various applications such as automobile components, medical equipments, protective gears, and so on. Further, they are categorized into 12 distinct segments. Okay, like sports, space, agriculture, medical, construction, and so on. Okay, so when we are using some special purpose suits, They are considered as what? Technical textiles, right? So the types of technical textiles, what we have got? Medical technical textiles. Simply speaking, the ones that are used by medical practitioners, including doctors, nurses, and compounders, and so on. Then we have got the geotextiles, that is reinforcement of embankments, filtration in civil engineering projects. Okay, the construction workers into the civil construction projects, when they are using it, they are known as the geotextiles. Then we have got the agrotextiles. In fact, Kisan suit has been also launched by the central government last year itself, okay, with the concept of technical textile. Then we have got the protective clothing, that is the uniforms worn by firefighters, okay, as well as the bulletproof jackets that are worn by our brave heart soldiers, okay, including policemen. Then we have got the automotive, that is the seat belts, what we use. It is also a type of a textile. It is protective textile. Then airbags, apart from that, the cord, the tire cord fabrics. Simply speaking, the safety elements used inside our four-wheelers. What are the materials that are specifically used in order to create technical textiles? The most prior components, the most prior elements. So what are they? So they are cotton and wool, the natural fibers. We have also got some synthetic or the artificial fibers, including polyester and nylon, or specialty fibers. What are these specialty fibers? They are known as Kevlar and Nomex. Okay, so guys, the homework for you, you will have to tell me in detail into the comment section or on my Telegram channel or my Instagram as well, wherever you guys are connected with me. You guys have to tell me in detail what do you understand by specialty fibers. Okay, so the types of them, they are here, okay, Kevlar and Nomex. But I want you guys to let me know into the comment section or over the Telegram or over the Instagram, wherever you are connected, okay, that is what you understand by the term specialty fibers, right? So the types we have got, okay, and the materials we have got as well, and the homework along with it. So coming on to the next thing with regard to the same topic, to accelerate the development of the technical textiles, the government has launched the National Textile Mission, the National Technical Textile Mission, in short, NTTM, in the year 2020-21, okay, for the time period being 2025 to 26, with a total corpus or the total outlay being 1,480 crores. And in addition to its core components, the National Technical Textile Mission has introduced multiple initiatives. Like, for example, we have got GIST 2.0. What is this GIST 2.0? Simply speaking, Grant for Internship Support for Technical Textiles. Okay, Grant for Internship Support for Technical Textiles. Basically speaking, the GIST 2.0. Okay, so NTTM, National Technical Textile Mission, 1,480 crores, time period being 21 to 26. And apart from that, presently NTTM has got a different component as well, that is the Grant for Internal Support for Technical Textiles. A grant for internship, internship, Grant for Internship Support for Technical Textiles, GIST 2.0. Okay. Now, a good news for all of us, those who believe that presently the private cabs, including the ones we use very often like Ola, Uber, Rapido, and so on, these private cabs, they are charging much. Maybe you might be thinking, okay, and sometimes it happens. And in order to eliminate the monopoly of the private cab sectors in India, and also establishing the government in the cab sector, the government of India has came forward with a very wonderful taxi program that is known as Sehkar Taxi. Okay, guys, be very specific. Sehkar Taxi is launched by not any state government. Though yes, there are provisions, the very same type of provisions from the state governments. Like, for example, West Bengal and Karnataka, they have launched state-specific taxi program. But nationally, at the central level, at the national level, we never had such type of a program. And for the first time, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has unveiled a policy or a program that is known as Sehkar Taxi Service. And now let's discuss about the components of the Sehkar Taxi Service. So the Indian government has launched or is set to launch a new cooperative based taxi service called Sehkar Taxi across the country to offer an alternative to popular rides platforms like Ola, Uber and so on, which is having a huge potential of growth, right? And a similar model like Sehkar Taxi is launched in West Bengal as well in the name of Yatri Sathi. Okay, so as you can see here, in the name of Yatri Sathi, right? In the areas, what are the specific areas that Yatri Sathi of West Bengal is working or is active in? So it is the areas of Siliguri, Asansol and Durgapur. So 24/7 customer support is also given in two different languages. One is the native language that is Bengali, and apart from that, yes, English. Okay, so they do provide four-wheeler cabs, auto rickshaws, that is basically three-wheelers, and apart from that, bikes as well. Okay, and a very similar model has also been launched by the Karnataka government in the name of Namma. Okay, Namma Yatri. Same, just like Ola, Uber, Rapido. Okay, just like Yatri Sathi, we have got the Namma Sathi. Okay, Yatri Sathi is present where? Yatri Sathi is present in the state of West Bengal, whereas Namma Sathi is present in Karnataka. And for the national level, we have got what? The Sehkar Taxi. Okay, guys. So this brings us to the very next headline, the next topic for the day, that is the House panel moots Heritage Repatriation Fund. Well, to go ahead or proceed with this particular topic, I just would like to state something before proceeding, okay? That is, confidence is good, expectations are good, but you know, over expectations sometimes makes you subject of criticism. Be very specific while you are expecting and while you are formulating your expectations into the statements or the words or phrases. Because if you are expecting a lot, it's okay, we can expect a lot, but let's keep it to ourselves. Specifically when you are handling a parliamentary panel, I don't think so you should be overexcited, getting carried away with the flow of the emotions is not something nice. But though, yes, some of our parliamentarians have done with regard to their emotions and with regard to their affection towards the national heritage, though it's not a bad thing, but yes, I believe the expectations they have formulated, they could be not much into the realistic world existence, having in the realistic world. Okay, so a parliamentary panel, a standing parliamentary committee has mooted a type of a fund that is specifically based on the protection and repatriation of our heritage monuments. In simple terms, heritage repatriation funds. Okay, see, it is not yet in existence. Okay, it is not yet in existence. A proposal has been made by the department, okay, related to the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Transport. Okay, so it's a standing committee, it's not an ad hoc one, that is, it's a permanent committee. So in its latest report presented in the parliamentary forum, okay, the Department of Transport, the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Transport, has came forward, okay, with this particular heritage repatriation fund that accepts contributions from corporations, public or private, whatever, wealthy individuals and the Indian diaspora to support legal challenges, negotiate purchases, and also to fund transportation and conservation of returned artifacts. Okay, see what they are expecting, that the funds will come with regard to the heritage repatriation funds, okay, that is getting back them to India from the different locations of this world. In that, corporations will contribute, wealthy individuals will contribute, the Indian diaspora people, they will contribute. Well, I do not want to be pessimist, but as I think it is something more of an emotions, okay, or more of something that is like over enthusiasm. I don't say that it is not possible, but yes, it seems difficult. Yeah, nothing is impossible. Okay, so let's not be much pessimist, but yeah, it seems difficult. Okay, as the heritage repatriation funds, they are asking the stakeholders, individuals, and the NRIs, those who are not residents of India, that is, okay, to come forward and contribute into the funds so that we can buy back our own artifacts that are being stolen during the colonial loot. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Please remember that is this heritage repatriation fund is still under process. Okay, it's not yet established. So until and unless it is established, until and unless first of its reports are out into the market, let's just not come to any conclusion whether it will work or not. I'm just giving my personal opinion that I believe it is over affection and enthusiasm towards something, and it will be very difficult for our parliamentarians to establish this. But yes, difficult, not impossible. So let's, fingers crossed, let's hope for the best. So coming to the next point, a retirement has come for the Gaia telescope of European Space Agency. Okay, so space telescope that is here, it is Gaia sent to retirement, but legacy endures. So what is the whole news? Europe's Gaia Space Telescope was powered down and sent into retirement on Thursday after a decade revealing the secrets of the galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, but its observation will fuel discoveries for decades. As since 2013, this Gaia Space Telescope has been providing us with some immense amount of hidden facts, information and knowledge of the outer space as well as the whole of the galaxy that is known as Milky Way. Okay guys, so what are the factors that we need to recall here? The Gaia Space Telescope retired, okay, but it was belonging to which agency? The European Space Agency. Okay, now moving to the next headline for the day, the next news. Dired, that is a company that specializes in early wildlife detection, has developed a new AI, that is artificial intelligence enabled drone, okay, that will help in locating and monitoring the forest fires. Okay, the name is Silverguard. Okay, the drone's name here, as you can see, this drone. Okay, so the name of this drone is Silverguard. So the facts in news, or the factors in news here, Silverguard. Okay, so Silverguard drone manufactured by whom? Manufactured by Dired Networks, was presented on Thursday. Okay, outside of Berlin, as wildfires driven by extreme heat and climate changes are becoming a more common, often deadly phenomena around the globe. Right? So what we have got? Wildfires, the biggest troubles to the climate as well. And in order to tackle them, the Berlin-based company known as Dired Networks, okay, has created an AI-enabled drone that will be named as Silverguard. Okay, who has created? Dired Networks, based where? Berlin, that is Germany. What is the name of the drone? Silverguard. Okay, is it AI enabled? Yes, Silverguard is AI enabled. So simply the drone will deliver infrared images among other things and works in combination with fire detection system that basically, okay, fire detection system that the company developed earlier and that's already being used in several countries. The fire detection system, it is called as Silvanet. Okay, so guys, the factors that you need to remember, that you need to recall. Silverguard, what it is, an AI enabled, actually not based, AI enabled drone for the sake of what? Monitoring and tackling with monitoring, what's that? Yes dear, today we have art and culture class at 2 p.m. We have it Monday to Saturday, every day, that is Monday to Saturday 2 p.m. Okay. Yeah, so coming to the point. Silverguard, AI enabled drone for the sake of what? Monitoring the forest fires or the wildfires, and it is working through which system? Okay, the fire detection system. What is the name? The name is Silverguard. net. Okay. Now the next big news for the day. It is a threat and a message to our not so friendly neighborhood, that is China, Pakistan, and any adversaries India possess. Though none of the countries are there in this world, those who want to possess adversaries or enemies or antis, but unfortunately, due to the race of supremacy and due to the race of dominating the world and so on, that is being on the rank one and controlling the whole globe through the strings and connecting it with the puppets. This is what the hostile intentions we have always got. So because of that, each and every country has got friends and foes both, that is friends and enemies, that is the adversaries. And for that sake, we need to develop the armies. And for that, we need to also equip our military or the defense machineries with the modern day or the state of the art cutting edge technologies. And one such thing as what you are watching on your screens is NAG. It is the anti-tank missile, anti-tank guided missile. And for the news, for the context, as what we can see, the Union Ministry of Defense on Thursday, that is March 27, signed a contract worth rupees 2,500 crores for procurement of the tracked versions of the NAG anti-tank missile system. So just one missile can destroy the whole of a tank of our enemy. Right, just one missile. So in short, it is known as NAG anti-tank missile system, that is NAMIS, for the Indian Army's mechanized formations, and another with Force Motors Limited as well as Mahindra and Mahindra Limited for around 5,000 light vehicles for the armed forces. Right, so multiple stakeholders are there, but the fact that we need to remember here, firstly here, that is NAMIS. What is NAMIS? NAG anti-tank missile system. Okay, 2,500 crore rupees of the investment just for one missile. No, it's not just one missile. It is a very badly and deadly needed missile. So features, when you talk about it, works on the fire and forget capability. That means just lock the target and launch it. Even if the target moves here and there, it will follow the trajectory and will collide with the target and will implode it. Okay, so allow targets engagement without post-launch guidance. Do not have to control. Just set the target in the eyes of the missile and it will take care of it later. High precision targeting, that is, it is capable of defeating tanks with explosive reactive armors, that is ERA. And apart from that, platform integration. What is this? Mounted on Namika. Namika as in NAG missile carrier, in short Namika. And next thing, indigenously designed, that is fully developed under the BAI, Indigenous Defense Development Program, that is category to promote self-reliance, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat. Okay, so simply speaking, NAG is what? It is totally indigenously developed missile system. Okay, missile system what? The anti-tank missile system, in short NAMIS, and the carrier of NAMIS is known as Namika, that is NAG missile carrier. And the features they are, it works on fire and forget capability, and apart from that, precision targeting, and apart from that, yes, it is also lethal, last but not the least. Okay guys, so this brings us to the next topic discussion. Okay, here we go. Malawi-Zambia community, or the Malawi-Zambia border, actually communities near the Kasungu National Park resort to legal action over elephants relocation. Okay, so there is a location, that is Malawi-Zambia border, and there is a mentioning of the park as well, a national park. What is the name of the national park? Kasungu National Park. So guys, please make it clear, Kasungu National Park is not in India. It's in African continent, okay, specifically in the Malawi and Zambia border, right? One of the countries which are affected badly with malnutrition and poverty, and there is a very wonderful park as well known as Kasungu National Park. Okay, and what are the residents protesting and taking legal actions for? So locals claim that the animals have killed at least 12 people and left communities in constant fear for their safety and livelihood as the elephants are being relocated. So firstly, talking about the border. Okay, so here we can see on the one side it is Zambia and on the other side it is Malawi. Okay, so exactly at this edge point we have got the Kasungu National Park, right? So exactly on the edge point here, okay, on the borders of Malawi and Zambia, right? And one thing that you need to mark here as well, there is also a lake in the name of Malawi, that is Lake Malawi, also known as in the name of Nyasa. Okay guys, so please be very specific with the topics. Okay, the name Malawi Zambia border, okay, and there is also a river, a lake in the name of Malawi, that is known as Lake Malawi. The other name for Lake Malawi is what? It is Nyasa. Now the features. Residents living near Kasungu Park, which straddles the Malawi-Zambia border, okay, have begun legal proceedings against the International Fund for Animal Welfare following the translocation of 263 elephants into the protected area. And locals, they have claimed that at least 12 people they have been killed. And apart from that, the relocation was carried out in 2022 by Malawi's Department of National Parks and Wildlife in collaboration with African Parks and the biggest non-governmental organization of this world when it comes to the protection of animals. So what is the name? IFAW, that is International Fund for Animal Welfare. Make it very clear guys, it is neither associated with any type of government or intergovernmental body. It is a private non-governmental organization, one of the biggest non-governmental organizations when it comes to the animal welfare. What is the name? IFAW, International Fund for Animal Welfare. Okay. So now let's just discuss about the MCQs related to the topics that we have discussed. So consider the following statements with regard to the NAG missile system. How do we consider the NAG missiles? Okay, so here we go. The NAG missile is an air-to-air missile developed by the DRDO. It operates on an active radar homing guidance system, and the NAG missile has been inducted into the Indian Armed Forces under the name Helena. So which of the statements given above is or are correct? Come on guys, quickly go ahead with the answers. Quick and fast as you can. Okay, so let's go with the correct answer. Here we go. The correct answer is C, 3 only. So why statements 1 and 2 are incorrect? So let's see. Statement 1 is incorrect as NAG is not an air-to-air, but it is an anti-tank guided missile, that is ATGM. First thing. Second, the NAG missile system uses an imaging infrared seeker for guidance, not an active radar homing system. That is, it works on the fire and forget. So there is no home guiding to it. Okay, active radar is there. It will tackle the enemy. It will actually follow the enemy, follow the trajectory, and will tackle it as well. Right? And third statement is correct. The helicopter launched variant of NAG. Okay, there is a variant of NAG that is known as Helena. In short, Helena, actual name, helicopter launched vehicle, helicopter launched NAG. Okay, so Helena, helicopter launched NAG, it has been inducted into the Indian Armed Forces. Next question. Which of the following correctly describes the fire and forget capability of the NAG missile? It should be as simple as possible question. Missile can be guided in flight by an operator. The missile requires continuous lock on from the launch platform. The missile autonomously tracks and destroys the target after launch without further input. And the missile follows a predetermined trajectory without adjusting for moving targets. So I don't think so there should be any trouble with this question. It's as simple as that. Option C, right? The missile autonomously tracks and destroys the target after launch without further input from the operator. Okay. So it is a third generation with regard to the features of the NAG further. It is a third generation fire and forget anti-tank guided missile, meaning that once launched, it does not require any further guidance or control from the operator. Okay, simply that is why the name fire and forget. Okay. Now coming to the next question, consider the following statements regarding the Coastal Regulation Zone, CRZ. What is the CRZ? So CRZ rules are notified under the Environmental Protection Act of 1986. Second, CRZ notification apply only to mainland coastal states and exclude the Andaman, Nicobar and Lakshadweep Islands. And third, the National Coastal Zone Management Authority, that is NCZMA, is responsible for maintaining or monitoring the CRZ compliance. So what do you think would be the correct answers, guys? What in opinion is the correct answer? Quickly. 1 and 3, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. So, yeah, the correct answer is 1 and 3 only. Okay, that is A. Statement 1 is correct, that is CRZ rules are identified with Environmental Protection Act of 1986, whereas second statement is wrong, as it covers both mainland as well as coastal states along with union territories of Andaman and Lakshadweep Islands. Okay, and statement 3 is also correct, that is for the National Coastal Zone Management Authority monitors the coastal regulation zone. Okay, for that we have got a National Coastal Regulatory as well as the State Coastal Zone Management Authority. Next one. Which of the following zones under the CRZ classification includes highly sensitive ecosystems like mangroves and coral reefs? Yes, guys. Yes, Sandesh dear. Good. Nice going. Nice. Perfect. Okay. CRZ classification includes highly sensitive ecosystems like coral reefs and mangroves. Is it CRZ1, CRZ2, CRZ3 or CRZ4? Come on. Coastal Regulation Zone classification as highly sensitive. Will it be 1, 2, 3 and 4? So, let's go with the answer. It is CRZ1, that is classified as highly sensitive CRZs. Okay, so it includes ecologically sensitive areas, that is ensure ESAs such as mangroves, coral reefs, breeding grounds for marine species as well as national parks. Okay, no new construction is allowed here in the CRZ1 except for the projects related to the national security and environmental conservations. Okay, be very clear. No new construction. You cannot go ahead there, it's a very beautiful location, I want to create a home, a resort, a hotel or a this or a that. No, absolutely not allowed in the CRZ1. CRZ2 when you talk about urban coastal areas. CRZ2 they are classified as with the title urban coastal areas. Okay, that are already developed and construction is regulated but allowed. CRZ3 rural areas with relatively lesser restrictions, okay, relatively lesser as compared to the 1 and 2. And CRZ4 covers the water area up to the 12 nautical miles, that is from the coastline including the ocean and sea facing islands. Simply speaking, CRZ4 talks about the maritime boundary of our country, 12 nautical miles, okay, that's it. So these are the distinctions of the CRZ. So there are 4 categories, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So one more question with regard to the CRZ. Which of the following activities is strictly prohibited under CRZ regulations? So it should be as simple as that. I don't think so there should be any concern with regard to this question. Quickly guys, answer. Setting up fish processing units in CRZ2 areas. Construction of hotels in CRZ areas beyond 50 meters from HTL, that is high tide line. Sand mining in CRZ1 areas and the construction of ports in the CRZ4 areas. What do you have to answer? Strictly prohibited under CRZ regulations. Okay. So let's go with the answer. So simply it is answer C, that is sand mining in CRZ1 areas. No construction or mining activities allowed in the highly sensitive area. Sand mining is strictly prohibited in CRZ1 due to its impact on mangroves and biodiversity. Fish processing units are allowed in CRZ2 with proper clearances, and hotels are allowed in CRZ 3 beyond 50 meters from HTL. Okay, that is the high tide lines. Okay, and apart from that, yes, sports are permitted in CRZ 4 only if they meet the environmental regulations. Only. Now coming to the next question, that is textile, technical textiles. So how do we define this word technical textiles? So technical textiles are primarily used for aesthetics and decorative purposes in the fashion industries. The Indian government launched the National Technical Textile Mission to promote research, innovation and domestic manufacturing in this sector. Medical textiles and agro-textiles are example of technical textiles. So which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, or all of the above? See the first statement. Technical textiles are used for aesthetics and decorative purposes. Obviously not. So first statement is wrong. So with regard to the elimination technique, you can get the answer. If the first statement is wrong, then option A, C and D can never be the correct answers. So what is the correct answer? Option B only is left. That is 2 and 3 only. Right? Here we go. Okay. So yes, medical textiles like surgical gloves, masks, etc., they are part of the medical textiles. And agro textiles, we have got shade nets, crop protection fabrics, etc. Okay. And yes, for this we have got the National Technical Textile Mission by the government in the year 2020 to boost domestic manufacturing, research and development and exports of technical textiles. Guys, please remember we are the 6th largest exporter of textile in the globe. Next, which of the following statements regarding the Gaia telescope is correct? The Gaia telescope is a space observatory launched by NASA. Its primary objective is to create the most precise 3D map of the Milky Way galaxy. The telescope uses astrometry to determine the position, distances and motions of the stars. So guys, once again, with elimination technique, let's solve it. First statement, we know it very well that we have discussed it today. Gaia Space Telescope was launched by the European Space Agency and not by NASA. Okay, it was by ESA and not by NASA, that is NASA. So option 1, that is a statement 1, sorry, not option 1. Statement 1 is absolutely wrong. So even if you don't know about statement 2 and 3, you just know about statement 1, then also you can get the answer. So option A, C and D are by default eliminated as they mention statement 1. So what is left? Left is B, that is 2 and 3 only, right? Okay guys, so this is it with regard to today's The Hindu analysis or our current affairs show. And as I said, that wherever you want to connect with me, you guys can connect on my Instagram handle here, that is Praveen Mishra _2107, or else you can connect with me over my Telegram channel, that is study_with_Praveen. Okay guys, so that's it from my side today in this The Hindu analysis show. Thank you so much, and please do not forget to subscribe to the channel so that you can stay tuned with all of the updates. And yes, please do the homework that is given to you, that is specialty textiles. What are they? How this Kevlar and Nexon they are working. Okay, so this is what the homework for you is. And apart from that, if there is any topic you want me to take on, please do let me know into that into the comment section as well. Okay guys, thank you so much. See you all soon in the very next session. Bye bye, take care, study well. Jai Hind.